Every warrior knows today may be his last, yet none dare retreat. Before the battle began, thousands of warriors gathered beneath a blood-red sky, unaware of the terror approaching.
The battlefield awakens beneath a blood-red sky.
War drums echo across the valley as the armies begin their advance.
The giant lets out a roar that shakes the mountains. The first wave of soldiers charges without fear. The Bible describes them as mighty warriors, remembered throughout ancient history.
Genesis chapter 6 introduces the Nephilim during a time when violence spread across the earth.
What if giants once walked the earth? The Bible tells of mysterious warriors whose size and strength inspired fear across entire nations. They were called the Nephilim, one of the Bible's greatest mysteries, mentioned only briefly but remembered for generations. Their story begins before the Great Flood, during humanity's earliest generations.
As corruption increased, God declared that judgment would come upon the earth.
Only Noah remained faithful, preparing the ark as the world ignored God's warning. The flood reshaped the world, ending an age remembered for violence and rebellion. After the flood, giant clans again appeared in the biblical record. When Israel approached the Promised Land, they would face these feared giant warriors.
They stood ready for war, until a giant twice the height of a man stepped onto the battlefield. Who could possibly stop him?
Then the giant raised his spear and mocked Israel's army. But he didn't know what was coming next.
Thousands of soldiers entered the valley, but among them stood a terrifying giant who seemed impossible to defeat.
Israel's army saw the giant, and no soldier dared to face him. But then, everything changed.
His footsteps shook the battlefield. His shield towered over the soldiers. His challenge echoed across the valley. How could ordinary soldiers defeat a warrior who towered above them? The answer would shock the battlefield. The horns sounded. The soldiers charged. And the giant finally moved toward them.
For a moment, the giant seemed unstoppable. Then, the entire battle line turned against him.
The giant had terrified an entire army, but moments later, the battlefield would witness his fall. The giant had terrified an entire army, but moments later, the battlefield would witness his fall. Who were the giants of the Bible? Where did they come from? And why did their terrifying story become one of Scripture's greatest mysteries?
Before the battle began, thousands of soldiers stood across the ancient battlefield, waiting for one terrifying enemy.
As the crimson light fades, the first stage of the great battle reaches its end. But the war has only begun.
The rising battle horns echo across the valley as fresh ranks of soldiers advance beneath a soft crimson sky.
Shield walls lock together as both armies prepare for another powerful collision.
Commanders signal the charge. and thousands of warriors rush forward without hesitation. The giant raises his shield as volleys of arrows sweep across the battlefield.
The clash of steel fills the air as warriors fight for every step of ground.
The giant presses forward, creating an opening for the advancing soldiers.
Fresh reinforcements rush into the battle. As the struggle grows more intense, the battlefield disappears beneath swirling dust, smoke, and the roar of determined armies.
Neither army retreats, as the fierce contest continues from one end of the valley to the other.
As the sun begins to sink, both armies prepare for another relentless assault, knowing the conflict is far from over.
Across the valley, soldiers prepared their weapons and waited for the first command.
As dawn's crimson glow returns, the battlefield awakens once more. Thousands of soldiers tighten their formations, ready for another relentless clash.
The commanders signal a steady advance as disciplined ranks march across the scarred battlefield.
Archers release another wave, filling the sky with arrows before the armies collide again.
The shield walls meet with a thunderous impact, and the struggle for every step begins again.
The giant moves steadily through the ranks, inspiring the soldiers to press forward with courage.
Commanders call for reinforcements as fresh warriors rush into the heart of the battle. The battle stretches across the valley, with neither army willing to surrender the field.
The giant plants his spear firmly as the soldiers regroup around him for another determined advance.
Another fierce charge surges across the battlefield. Warriors fight with unwavering resolve.
As daylight begins to fade, both armies stand exhausted but unbroken, knowing the greatest battles still lie ahead. The first rays of morning cut through the smoke, as thousands of soldiers prepare for another relentless assault. Battle horns echo across the valley, and the armies begin their steady advance.
Archers unleash another volley as the advancing warriors close the distance.
The shield walls collide once more, sending echoes of steel across the valley.
The giant steps forward with calm determination as soldiers rally around him.
Fresh warriors reinforce the front line, refusing to let the enemy gain ground.
The battlefield trembles beneath thousands of determined footsteps.
Commanders signal a coordinated push as disciplined formations press ahead.
The fierce struggle continues as neither army yields the battlefield. As the day's fighting slows, both armies regroup beneath a crimson evening sky, preparing for the battles still to come. Morning mist hangs over the battlefield. Thousands of soldiers lift their shields and prepare for another relentless advance.
The commanders raise their swords, and disciplined ranks begin marching across the valley.
Archers release another coordinated volley as the opposing armies draw closer.
The thunder of marching feet gives way to the ringing clash of shields and swords.
The giant advances with measured strength, encouraging the warriors around him to hold the line.
Fresh companies of soldiers rush forward to reinforce the struggling front. The battle stretches from one end of the valley to the other as neither army retreats.
The giant plants his shield firmly, while disciplined warriors regroup behind him.
The commanders order another determined advance as the battle reaches a new intensity.
As evening settles over the battlefield, both armies remain unbroken, ready to continue the struggle with the coming dawn.
Before sunrise, the camps stir with quiet determination as thousands of soldiers prepare for another day of relentless war.
The first battle horn echoes across the valley, and the armies begin their disciplined advance. Archers lift their bows as the battlefield falls silent for a single heartbeat.
A storm of arrows sweeps overhead as shields rise across the battlefield.
The shield walls collide once more, and the valley echoes with the sound of battle.
The giant steps forward, opening a path through the crowded battlefield for the advancing warriors.
Fresh formations arrive, strengthening the line, as the struggle continues across the valley. Warriors hold their ground with courage as the battle stretches far beyond the horizon.
The commanders order one more determined charge before the fading light disappears.
As the crimson sunset settles over the valley, both armies withdraw to regroup, knowing the greatest trial still lies ahead.
The soldiers formed a massive shield wall and prepared to face the giant. The giant struck the shield wall with tremendous force.
Wood shattered beneath the blow, and warriors struggled to remain standing.
Spearmen attacked from both directions, hoping numbers would overcome his strength. But their weapons struck his armor and bounced away without stopping him.
The giant turned and swung his enormous weapon, forcing the warriors to scatter.
Seeing the danger, the commanders ordered the archers to attack from a distance.
A storm of arrows crossed the red sky and descended upon the giant.
The giant attacked with unstoppable force, shaking the earth beneath every step.
Speed became the warrior's greatest weapon against overwhelming strength.
Every move brought him closer to defeating the impossible. The wounded giant unleashed every ounce of his terrifying strength.
Fall back to the ridge! Form a line and hold them!
The first attack had failed, but the soldiers were not ready to surrender.
They realized that strength alone could never defeat the giant. They needed a strategy.
They noticed something important. The giant's enormous armor protected his body, but it also slowed his movements.
The army created a dangerous plan to exhaust the giant before delivering the final attack.
The battle changed. Instead of attacking together, the soldiers began striking from different directions.
The giant fought back with incredible speed, refusing to let the army surround him. The giant battles fiercely, but the disciplined soldiers gradually force him backward across the valley. Warriors learn to survive by moving quickly rather than meeting his strength directly. Suddenly, the giant charged. The battlefield became the giant's kingdom, but one warrior refused to surrender.
The Lowenly naked into blind. Each attack shattered everything standing in its path.
The final blow was only seconds away. But who would survive? He turned the battlefield itself into his advantage. The giant's strength shook the battlefield like an earthquake. Speed allowed the warrior to strike where brute force failed.
The battlefield's wreckage became deadly weapons.
Only perfect timing kept the warrior alive.
Overwhelmed by the united advance, the giant falls as the soldiers secure the battlefield beneath the crimson sky. The enemy soldiers begin to retreat as the disciplined Israelite army advances together. The commanders signal the advance, and the soldiers press forward with renewed courage.
The battlefield echoes with victory as the enemy lines continue to break apart.
As the crimson sun sets, the soldiers stand victorious, remembering the courage shown throughout the battle. The battlefield grows quiet as the victorious soldiers gather, their banners rising high beneath the crimson evening sky. The commanders order the army to secure the valley as scouts search the surrounding hills.
The battlefield grows quiet as the victorious soldiers gather, their banners rising high beneath the crimson evening sky.
The soldiers gather abandoned shields and weapons, while giving thanks for their hard-fought victory.
As darkness settles, watchmen take their places while the army prepares to return home.
The victory becomes a story passed from generation to generation, reminding future warriors that courage and faith can overcome even the greatest enemy.
The commanders praised the courage shown on the battlefield as the army secured the valley.